Hi there, my name is Alex Shapovalov. I'm a member of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary and I'm a past flotilla commander for a flotilla in San Antonio here. Today I'd like to talk to you about a little bit of boarding safety, some vessel safety checks, the reason why we do them more than how we do them. So first of all, why would you do a vessel safety check? Well, we check for proper equipment that's regulated by state and federal laws, but beyond that, we also look at what other equipment you should have on your vessel. You know, the laws require you to have life jackets and other safety equipment. We'll talk more about in detail what we'll look for during a safety check. But we also like to prepare you to be, when you're on the water and situation does arise that you need to use that equipment, is to make sure that it's in a proper working condition, and you have it, and nature like that. So let's talk about basic, the first thing what you should have on any vessel, whether it's to be a motorboat, sailboat, or a kayak especially, and it's a life jacket, right? Life jacket saves lives, you know that. We have over 200 deaths in Texas alone from drownings. And so let's talk about what life jacket you're supposed to have first. I'm going to walk this way here and I'm going to pick one right here from the boat. And every life jacket that you need to have on you, with you, or on the boat, first of all, needs to be Coast Guard approved life jacket. So the biggest thing you want to look for in a life jacket is going to say United States Coast Guard approved jacket. You can buy stuff online these days, and you can buy some made in different country, and they might not be approved by Coast Guard. Those are not life jackets that you want to have. So make sure you look for that label, make sure it's standards of lifeguard to keep you safe. And then you need to look at the sizing, right? So if this says adult universal, it's going to fit most adults, right? But you need to be aware of what you weigh and how much life jacket can hold. For example, this life jacket will have a lift power for adult over 90 pounds. So if that, you don't want to put this on a child because it's not going to work properly for them. Or if you maybe don't want to fit in this size life jacket, look for a size that fits you. So sizing of life jacket is very important. Make sure you size life jacket first. Right here I have a life jacket that will fit a child. Obviously it will not fit me, or it will not fit an adult. So make sure when you go on the water, you're number one, you're prepared with the type of life jacket and the size of life jacket of passenger on your vessel, okay? This is applies more important if you go kayaking, paddle crafting, or any of this type of activities. You must have a life jacket wearing you at all times. That is a state law regulation, and it will save your life, right? So don't try to go kayaking and say, no, I have a life jacket in the boat here with me in a hole. No, it doesn't work. You must wear it, right? All right, let's talk about boats and motorboats and the sailboats and what things we as Coast Guard check on when we do vessel safety checks, right? So first of all, we make sure that your boat is in a good condition, right? There's no holes in it in your hull. It won't take the water. So we look at that, and then we check for state and federal regulations. First one, make sure you have a hull identification number on your vessel. It locates on stern of your vessel, and we check that, make sure that matches the paperwork that you have. You're required in the state of Texas to have your state registration. Obviously, this is a brand new boat. We are here standing actually in the showroom of our friends and partners, Bass Pro Shop. And thank you for allowing us to be here today and to record this video for you guys. So the numbers will be displayed on hull. Those must be displayed in 2-inch numbers and letters. They have to be block letters and numbers, and they have to be prominently displayed on the front of the hull for everybody to see. So once you have those numbers in place, that's kind of what things we check for. Then we start looking at your life jackets, as we talked about earlier today. Do you have enough of them? Are they in the proper condition? Are they in a working order? If you've had a life jacket on your boat for a long time and the buckles start to wear out, you need to replace them. If your life jacket has some mold on it, maybe it's time to replace it too. You store them for 10 years, they might not be good anymore. So check on your life jackets. And then the other part is, you might have I have a big pontoon boat and I have 20 life jackets, but then we ask you to find them and you don't know where they are even, right? So the life jacket is only good when they're easily accessible. When it's stored away in a brand new packaging, you just bought brand new life jackets, and you store them under the seats, and it takes you 10 minutes to get them, most likely they won't help you if the time arises, right? So you need to be easily accessible, and also for if you have children on board under 13 years old, they must wear a life jacket at all times. And we recommend for all adults to wear them. It's a lot easier to put a life jacket on a dry land than trying to put it when you fall in the water, and especially if the water is cold and stuff. So be aware of that. Then we check for, do you have visual distress signals? If your boat malfunctions and you're in the middle of the water, granted, you know, in our area we'll be in the lakes. It's more concerned, these items, is when you're out in the open water and maybe into coastal waterways or out on the bays and stuff. You have to have something to alert other boats or aircraft that you have an issue, right? So you know, a signal mirror is great. You can actually have, if you have a red rug or a t-shirt or whatever, you can do something to wave in the area. You have a whistle on you, make a signal, you know, so have items like that. At night you have a flare. There is now LED flare type of device that's approved by Coast Guard that you can order online that all works great as well. So you need to have some kind of distress signal that you can show other boats, aircrafts, especially if you've been searched by Coast Guard, things like that. The other good idea is if you are going in the water and especially in the area out in the bays and some of the farther in the open water, don't wear clothing that will blend into water. In other words, color blue, color green disappears in water. If the Coast Guard has to send an aircraft looking for you, they will not see those colors. So the colors like why do you think we have life jackets usually orange color, a lot of them, right? It's because those are the colors that can be noticed easily. So think of things like that. Wear coloring that's bright color, so white and blue will disappear, nobody will see you again. So wear something that's pink and bright orange colors like that. It's easier to spot, right? So wear things like that. You have to have fire extinguishers on boats. It changes based on the size of the vessel you have, how many you have, but it's minimum one. And all the fire extinguishers now have a printed date in the back and the bottom of the fire extinguisher. So if you pick up your fire extinguisher, and I have one to show you right now, the bottom of the fire extinguisher will have a manufacturer date printed in the bottom with. Make sure to look at the date, and it's 10 years expiration date from there. You have to replace it after that. You have to have first aid kit. First aid kit just in case, you know, scrapes, scratches, things like that. But more than that, what if you know somebody who's susceptible to medication, you need medication stuff, you know, maybe make sure that meds are on board. You know, if you have a friend who may, you know, had a case of heart attacks or something like that, make sure they have that medication on board with you. You don't want to be out in the water and then something happens and you try to look for help. It's not easy to get when you're up in open water somewhere. You went fishing, you get a hook stuck in you, things like that happen all the time. Make sure you know what to do and have a safety equipment to fix problems like that. I'm kind of maybe going more information than we do during the vessel safety checks, but that's information we provide to public when we do it too. So as I said, it's a great idea for you to contact Coast Guard Auxiliary so we can provide you free vessel safety check, because we'll not just check on the equipment that you're supposed to have, that you're required by law, but we will tell you what the things you should have and explain to you how to use it. And you might have a brand new boater and they just bought all this stuff and have all this great equipment and stuff, but do they know how to use it or how to access it or for what if situation? That's what we're there for. So don't be shy to reach out to us and ask us questions. We'll be happy to assist you with that. We do it for paddle crafts, we do it for motorboats, we do it for safety, for sailboats, and we're there to help. So reach out to your local Coast Guard unit, and Coast Guard Auxiliary unit will be happy to help you with that. With that, you guys have a great day and stay safe in water. Alex Shapovalov here, United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. I want to show you some of the safety equipment we talked about earlier during the vessel safety checks. The things you need to have on your vessel that's required by law, by state and federal laws. You need to have a marine fire extinguisher. This one will tell you it's Coast Guard approved to have it on your vessel. Make sure it's brand new. They're good for 10 years. There's a date that's stamped at the bottom of this fire extinguisher of the date manufactured. It's 10 years from that point. So if it's coming to expiration date, you might want to replace it. Make sure the dial on it is still also on green. If it's no longer on green, you need to replace it. It will not help you. You never want to have a fire on a boat, but if it does happen, you need to have a fire extinguisher. And don't hide it don't keep it in a box. Get it out. There's a mounting plate in it. Mounted somewhere you can easily access it. Next to pilot's house is the best place to have it. Some of the distress signals we talked about. A flashlight, a bright LED light that you can see at night. You need to have a visual distress signal, day distress signal. There's a distress flag. If you wave this flag, other boats will know you need help. You need to have a sound producing device. If your boat has one, great, but you have a backup, a whistle. A great Coast Guard approved whistle would be great to have. If you're in a kayak or paddle craft of any kind, it must be attached to your life jacket, and you must have it. It's required by law for you to have that. There's some great tapes, reflective tapes to have. You can, Coast Guard Auxiliary has this great reflective paddle stickers that you can put on your paddles, and you can use those as a visual distress signals, or if you're on a channel, the other boats can see you. That's important to have. So you can find all kind of stuff here at the Bass Pro Shop for your boating needs. So come check them out, or if you don't have it. But the most important part, know what you need to have. If you have questions on what required equipment you need to have on boat, come ask us, and then make sure it's kept in a good working condition. Okay, you guys have a great day. Be safe in the water.